Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday, everybody. It's so good to be here. I'm so excited. I had a great day today. I'm so happy that I just kind of stayed at home today. I took off today, didn't have to go into the studio. Felt real good. Got a lot of things done today. And it was just a great day just to kind of relax. I did a little bit of work. Not a lot of work, but it was just a great day. And I hope that you were able to enjoy this day as well. So I want to give a big shout out to our guest on last week, Barry McNeely with the Civil Rights Institute. He is a historian, guys, of civil rights and all the history that pertains to Birmingham, Alabama. If you missed that show, go back to the Ladies Room Talk Show, hit like, follow that, and pop in and listen to all the amazing historical facts that he shared about Birmingham, as they refer to as Birmingham. And also he shared information, vital information about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., whose birthday we celebrated on last Monday. Also, as you guys know, if you follow me, I will be speaking now, one of the keynote speakers for the Wildest Dreams Conference 2026. The host is Datha Whitfield. Guys, it's going to be a really great conference, as always. Times of deliverance, times of being set free. It's just an amazing time for you to come and get what you need. It's also a good time for women to fellowship, get to know each other. I've met many, many women over the years, and to be able to go back and be the keynote speaker again is simply an honor and a privilege. So Datha, kudos to you. Listen, those of you who need your tickets, you've been asking me about it. You're like, look, Clarissa, how can I get the tickets to go to the Wildest Dreams Conference? Go to wildestdreamer.com. That's wildestdreamer.com. Go out there and get those tickets, guys. You can get VIP experience, which I understand is about to close. I think they're almost full with the VIP experience, but you don't want to miss it. Get out there, guys, get that ticket. And guess what? I had someone give me a call today. They're like, Clarissa, hey, I won't be able to go today, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to send someone there. So someone she totally met today for the very first time, she called me. She said, Clarissa, listen, I bought her a ticket. She's going to be at the Wildest Dreams Conference. That's what this is all about. Pay it forward. Help someone. Get them out to the Wildest Dreams, guys. I'm telling you, it's a life-changing experience, and you do not want to miss it. Now, listen, we have an awesome guest here tonight. This is actually his first time being inside the Ladies Room, but matter of fact, it is not his first time. He was in the Ladies Room maybe the very first year we got started. Maybe about 10 years ago, 9 years ago. I don't even know if he remembers being on the show, but he was here, and it was a really good show, and I'm so honored to have him come back. He's coming back tonight, this time, guys, as the civil rights activist and a civil rights foot soldier. I'm so glad to have inside the Ladies Room tonight, Mr. Charles Avery. Mr. Charles, welcome to the Ladies Room.
Thank you, Carissa.
I'm glad to have you back. When I was talking, I realized that you were in the Ladies Room before.
Yes, many years now. I just realized it.
Now, I know, but I'm so excited. Can you believe that we're in our 10th year of running the Ladies Room Talk Show?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. I said, can you believe we're in our 10th year of being in the Ladies Room?
Yes.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And listen, we want to talk a little bit more about you. First of all, Charles, let's talk about how we met. We met years ago, because anybody who knows Charles Avery, you know that he is a serial entrepreneur. He started many businesses, and he's done a lot of things in the business sector. He's also very, very heavily involved in his church. And I've experienced that firsthand as well. But Charles, you and I met when you were in joint partnership with, I think it was probably one of the first Black-owned spas in the Jefferson.
That's right. Absolutely. Powerful Me Pretty. You do remember.
Honey, I remember. I mean, we went up in there, and I had a meeting in there one time, and we just really had a wonderful experience. We had food, we had fruit, and those people who drink, they had that. You guys just really set it out. And that was one of the first Black-owned spas in this area. And
That's
really,
right.
it was a great experience, and people had really, really great reviews on attending that. So that's where I first met you.
That's right. Wow. You're going back in time now. I'm 80 years old.
Wow. So how many years ago was that?
Oh boy, it's been what, 20 years. That was back in 2005 and 10, something like that.
Wow. Seems like yesterday. I cannot believe it's
Yeah,
been so long. But you guys really probably were ahead of your time. You really
very.
uh
That's what happened. We were
yeah.
much ahead of our time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was great though. But you've always been that guy, that pioneer, that person that's going to push the bar, that person that's going to be innovative and be able to set a standard for people to follow. And that's what I always
Absolutely.
remember about you. Now, what I didn't know, Charles, is that you were a foot soldier.
Original.
Yeah, I
Yes,
know.
sir.
I had no idea.
1963.
Oh
Yes,
my
ma'am.
goodness. Tell us about that experience.
I will. Uh, First of all, I'd like to say that I am an active member of the Russian Spring Baptist Church, where I serve as a deacon. And that experience that I had back in 1963 was May 7th, 1963. We led a group of young activists from our school, at least 800 to 1,000 people. And the reason I know that I had to become the leader, because when we got to Village Creek after walking from Hooper City High School, the lieutenant wanted to know who's leading this march, and all hands said he is. And so I assumed the responsibility of having led the march. However, I can go back. I was motivated back when we would attend the mass meetings on Monday night. And my father, it was at that time a laborer at one of the American Cast Iron Pipe Company. And he was unable to be involved because he would lose his job. And I saw how much it meant to him. And I was motivated by him that I would definitely be arrested. And through fate, it happened. The very last day that the Children's Crusade marches was in Birmingham on a Monday, May 7th. We were the last ones to be arrested, and my friend and I was the last one to get out of jail. My name was Avery, started with A. His name was Booker, and we was the last ones to leave.
Wow. So how old were you at that time?
18. I was 18 years of age, and my story is that my mom was afraid of the Ku Klux. And then we got in a confrontation because my friend on the last day of school refused to ride in the back of the bus. And we had a confrontation with the bus driver. My mom being afraid of the Ku Klux, and I had to leave Birmingham.
Wow. That's a lot at 18 years of age. What was it that gave you that mindset to say, listen, I have to be a part of the movement? What was it that
Well,
ignited that in you?
after attending the different meetings and watching the speeches and the motivation that they gave, anyone who attended as regular as we did, I never forget, Clarissa, we had a 1954 Oldsmobile in our community that was probably the only car, and we would be loaded with all the kids. I know anywhere from 10, nowadays you can't ride with 4 people in a car, but we would have at least 10 or better sitting on each other so we could all in our community attend the mass meetings. And this was from the city of Tarrant.
Mm. And so there were groups of you, 10,
Oh,
12,
yeah. Yeah.
20 people, and all of you around that same age group. Did you have any that were younger than 18?
Much younger. Oh, yes. We had them as young. In fact, I had sisters who were much younger. and all of us would be loaded up in my dad's car that we'd be able to attend those meetings. And we would sing, we would be motivated by the speeches, and being in a rural area, we went attended Hooper City High School. That was out in the rural area of Jefferson County at that time, wasn't a part of Birmingham. And we didn't feel a part of the demonstrations because we was in the country, so to speak. And when we were motivated that we had to go and join a young lady that had finished our high school, was recruiting students around the city. And she came out and wanted her school to be a part of history, and we attended. And so I am just at this point in my life, I'm just still motivated. So much is happening and going on. It just makes me, I wish I was young.
Wow. You know, when I think about some of the young people that are 18, 17, 16, some of them aren't really wired like that anymore. The focus is more of self-driven or self-absorbed. Not all, but some
Yeah.
are really just thinking about what's in it for them, about their
Yes.
career, about their journey, and not really looking or considering doing something
Yes.
that would be a sacrifice on behalf of another. And
Yes.
so
So true.
would you say that the young people are a little different
I
than
would. I would. You use the right word. They're just not wired like that anymore. And you can actually feel it and see it.
mm,
I wish we feel as though, I feel as though they feel as though they have arrived, and they think things are supposed to be given to them. They don't have to earn it. We felt at that time that you had to earn these things. And if you had to go from the theater, from the 4th Avenue district of Birmingham to Crescent to use the bathroom, and you get there and you see colored only and white only, and those things would motivate you to want to change.
mm, mm. Do you? Because I know that we still have a long way to go. And
Yes,
some people feel like, hey, they compare the amazing things that you and many other foot soldiers and activists have done and sacrificed to get us up to this point. But they feel
yes.
like, well, that was in the olden days. We don't have to deal with that anymore. But truth be told, we still
All
have
right.
a very long way to go. It just
Yes,
looks different. It's just
yes.
packaged differently than the way it was then. It was very blatant then. You could walk and go to and see these signs up and see these things about
Mhm,
no coloreds allowed and coloreds only and that
mhm.
sort of thing. Now, while we don't
So
see it,
true.
it still
Mhm.
very much exists.
So true. So true.
Mm.
Well,
Can you talk a little bit?
I wouldn't take nothing. I wouldn't take nothing for that experience. I lived in Chicago a little better than almost 12 years, and my heart was always back in Birmingham. I wanted to come home. I am now a disabled vet. I lost my eyesight, and so all I am able to do is watch the news and to watch and see different things from all over the country and to watch the protests. And you must remember, we made the history first in Birmingham, Alabama. And I see things that are going on the other night. I was listening to the march in Minneapolis, and you know what they were doing? Singing, "We Shall Overcome." I said,
Mm,
let's sing it. Uh, that song has carried over from Birmingham all the way to the Berlin Wall. When it fell, they were singing, "We Shall Overcome."
mm.
So what started out here in Birmingham has gone around the world.
It has, and it definitely has made a mark. First, I want to go back and say hello to Allison Sanders is here with us tonight. She is watching. Shavonda Colley, she is always continuing to support me inside the ladies' room. And my pastor, Pastor Sean Edwards, is on. He always supports the ladies' room talk show, and he always supports all of his members in what they're doing out here. So, Pastor Sean, thank you so much for popping in. And his comment to you tonight was, "This is good, sir, and I applaud your commitment." So he is definitely applauding you for your efforts, Mr. Charles, and for everything that you've done on behalf of the civil rights movement. So when you are looking at TV and you're seeing that there's still people out there that that believe in doing the things that we need to do to keep this in the forefront, do you think that we're doing enough?
No, there's much more we can do. Our young people have to get involved. Uh, I was speaking earlier with my daughter, and I was telling her that if I had the strength, I would be with my friends in Minneapolis protesting. And she said, "Well, we're going to make it happen. And we got Zoom and everything now. We can do it all." And believe it or not, tonight we will be on live with them speaking to the group in Minneapolis. They bring, I suppose we've spoken to, I think he said 42 different groups 2 times a year. The different groups will come through the city, and we've had the privilege of speaking to them on civil rights and foot soldiers. And I tell you, it's been a privilege. And so tonight we'll be speaking to the citizens of Minneapolis.
And I think that's so amazing. And to be able to talk to you so you can share. It's one thing to be able to read it, to read history. It's something else to actually be able to touch history.
Yes, so much. So
Yeah,
true.
I mean, because we're getting it firsthand from you. Do you, we see a lot of pictures on what took place against the kids, the foot soldiers. Was there ever a time, Mr. Charles, that you felt like, I don't think I'm going to go today. I'm afraid.
No, I was never afraid. I don't ever recall being afraid. However, when I look back at that experience of having gone into the 16th Street Baptist Church, uh, we were in the music class. They taught us songs. They had other kids in other classes. Actually, you had to feel firsthand what would happen to you on the outside of the church. They actually had people being slapped. They actually had people being cursed. And all so that we would know how to be nonviolent. And this was the key to the success of that movement, being nonviolent. And hopefully the people throughout our country will stay nonviolent, whereas we will be successful.
Why do you think people are taking to violence more so now than before?
So much has been built up. I don't see the news. I listen to the news. And I can become so frustrated just knowing what is taking place. And I can see the frustration building up in people. I can see why, but that's not going to achieve what you're looking for. We're trying to get a goal. You got to stay nonviolent in order that people will feel compassion towards you. Look at the difference in how we feel now toward the movement throughout the country with the different things going on as to what we would be. I just feel as though it's our time, and someone has to save the soul of our country, and it's time that we make a difference. Well, first thing I hear, well, the blacks are not involved. Yes, you are. And this is where, sometimes we feel as though we could become complacent. That's for the immigrants. That's not including us. Well, you too was an immigrant. And we got to look at things in a different perspective so we will know that we have not arrived and we haven't overcome yet.
And I think that may be the issue. I think that for some reason, we're thinking that we have,
Mhm.
and that we have arrived, and that there's nothing else that needs to be done. But I will say this, and I've always said this: sometimes when people are given high end quality scraps,
Mhm.
appears to be the best,
All right.
when it indeed is still scraps. And
That's
so,
a good illustration.
yeah, I've always believed that, and I believe that
Mhm.
where we are. We have caviar, and we have the best cuts of steaks, and we have the shrimps and
Yes.
lobsters, and we have all of this, but there's a scraps. It may be the best, but
Yes.
it's still scraps. We don't
That's
have
right.
full totality of the meal. And so I
Mhm.
believe that once we get that understanding, that we will always continue, and we will always need to be alert. And I believe the term that was very popular a couple of years ago, woke, and people don't
Yeah,
say it now. They don't say it now,
that's
Mr.
right.
Charles. They don't say
That's
woke.
right.
It's not popular, and it's not cool to say, but I tell you what, it's very relevant. And I believe that we are being rocked to sleep by what appears to be true.
Mhm.
What
Well,
appears to be true.
yes, ma'am. It's just a privilege. I was sitting thinking while you were talking, and my mind went back to where we grew up. We had to accept the scraps. And earlier I was saying we went to a rural school. Well, Hooper City High School was a feeder school. You had about 9 or 10 little junior high schools that fed into that one high school, from all the way from Warrior down to Praco. And we all attended that school, and we knew who we were, and we knew what to do. But we took advantage of our education, and we went all over the United States and became someone. And I never forget, we had a principal to say, always go first class, be first class in whatever you do. And if our young people could just know that they can be first class, you don't have to sit on the back of the bus, you don't have to ride in the back of the airplane, go first class.
That is so good, and it's so true. I think that as the world is starting to change, things are becoming very laxed here lately.
Mhm.
And
So true.
in my upbringing and in my training, certain things you just don't wear, certain things you
That's
just don't,
right.
certain things you just don't say or present yourself in public. And so what
Yes.
happened is that everything is becoming relaxed and laxed. So where there used to be business attire, now it's business casual. And it's the times of where we are, but I still believe that there's a time and a place where
Yes.
you're saying we must dress
So true.
first class, act first
Mhm.
class, be first class. And so my
Mhm.
pastor just wrapped up a series on excellence.
Yes, yes. Mhm.
He wrapped up a series on excellence, and that was one of these things that he talked about, is that we have to be excellent in everything
Excellent.
that we do. So
Yes,
regardless
yes.
of what's around you, I'll say this, as we're wrapping up, Mr. Charles. I remember the last job I had when I worked in corporate America, and I remember I had a very high position at that time at that place. And so all the folks who are in those positions, mostly male, their
Mhm.
attire, they had to wear a shirt, a tie,
Mhm.
dress slacks, dress pants. Okay.
That's
So
right.
the requirement was not quite as strict for women. However, the way I was brought up and the position so I had 30 people under me. So I'm going to be the change that I want my representatives to be. So I'm going to dress the part, look the part, smell the part, act the part, talk the part, all of that. And so one of them said, Clarissa, you don't have to dress up like that every day. You can tone some of that down a little bit.
Mhm.
And so this person did not look like me. Okay.
Mhm.
But you're standing there in your suit, and you're standing there in your tie, and you're standing there in your dress pants and your dress shoes. So what I did, Mr. Charles, I went to the store after I got off from work and bought more shoes, more suits, and more dress attire.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I did. So you're not going to look at me and tell me to
Mm-mm.
drop down and say it doesn't take all of that, and then you stay up here. No, that's not what we're going to do. We're not
Yes.
going to do it. And just because you see other people around you being subpar or minimal or under or beneath, that does not give us a right to match that. I'm not going to match that.
Yes.
We really having people like you, Mr. Charles, to set that standard and to set that bar and to tell us go first class. And you're not just telling us that, that's what you do. You believe in that. I know that because I know you personally. I've been able to
Yes.
see the things that you have been able to accomplish and do. And now you're telling us back when you were 18, you had the
Mhm.
spirit of excellence upon you, even then.
Absolutely. Yes.
Then. So it has to be something that's ingrained within us. It has to be the very
Mhm.
fabric of our being. And my
Mhm.
prayer is that we, you, I, as we're looking back at these generations, that we can be the example.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll grab hold to it.
I hope so.
Hopefully. So, Mr.
But
Charles, I know you have another interview to do in Minneapolis. Is it Minnesota or Minneapolis?
Minneapolis,
Okay. I know you
where,
have one.
where, where the young man was shot.
Yes. Yes. So I know you're going to be speaking on that in a few minutes. And I certainly want to get you off of this show so that you can have time to kind of prep, grab your snack or whatever, and get ready for your next interview. But I'm so
Yes.
grateful. We've had
It's
this.
been a pleasure. It's been
Oh,
a
man. It's
pleasure.
been great.
And I
It's
really have enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you. And so now one of the things that we generally do here inside the ladies room is that we ask our guests to share something from your heart to
Mhm.
encourage people. And so, Mr. Charles, what I want you to do, I want you to talk to those young people who
Mhm.
feel like what they do at this age doesn't matter and that it's irrelevant. I want you to talk to those
Yes.
people and encourage those young people to do something.
Thank you so much. I was thinking, being neighbors, we must be our brother's keeper. All of us are neighbors. Whether you live in West End, whether you live in Mount Brook, whether you live in Hoover, we're all neighbors. And one of the greatest commandments was love thy neighbor as thyself. See about each other. We got to learn how to care for each other in order that we can go forward. If we don't care about yourself, you can't care about nobody else. Care about yourself so we can all love each other. Being a neighbor, that we have sense enough to know that you can't live in this world by yourself. You got to have somebody to depend on, family, loved ones, and all of us who are here tonight, who's listening on tonight and needs some help or needs some motivation or need encouraging, sit down and read. See what other people are doing. There's some scripture, Carissa, that I love. I read it every morning, and that is the 22nd verse of Mark 11. Have faith in God. And the next verse, it goes on to tell you about if there's anything, if there are mountains in your way, they can be removed by praying. Whatsoever you desire when you pray, you can have it. And this is what we got to learn to do. We got to learn to ask God's help. And I say to our young people, there's nothing too hard for God, and there's nothing that God won't do for you if you would just be in the way and ask Him. Thank you, Carissa.
Amen. I love that. I think that's one of the biggest things we're missing is loving each other. And
Mm-hmm.
just because your parents aren't my parents, we're still family. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to say, I think that's the cohesiveness of the foot soldiers. Is
Yes.
each one that we are family, period. Regardless of what our
Mm-hmm.
parents are, our DNA is, we are still family. And I believe that was the cohesiveness that brought the foot soldiers together and kept you guys
Mm-hmm.
together.
Yes.
It's very powerful. And so
Yes.
I'm so grateful that you've shared tonight. I'm so grateful that you
Mhm.
spent some time with me tonight, because like I said, I know you got a lot going on tonight. You got another interview to do.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. We
You
love you.
you are so welcome. Carissa, there is one other little thing. There's a place downtown called the Civil Rights Actives Committee. It's right next door to Green Acres Cafe. And I would just love for young people to go by and visit that site so that they can learn something and see different things that are taking place in Birmingham.
That's beautiful. And I will check that out and see what I can do to get some information to the listening audience, and also to push that information over to some of the teachers out in the Jefferson County area. Maybe that can be a tour that they can take their kids to. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us inside the Ladiez Room Talk Show. We'll see you back here next week. And remember, go out to thewildestdreamer.com. Get those tickets out to the women's conference. Come out, support me. It's going to be great. Come out, support Datha and all of the panelists and the vendors that are going to be there. Some great vendors are going to be there. Some vendors that are sponsors of the Ladiez Room Talk Show. We have Perfect Body Spa and Wellness, Chandra Bowen. And we also have North Creations, a beautiful and excellent tea company that supports and sponsors the Ladiez Room as well, and many more vendors that will be there. The ICU Media is a vendor there as well. So guys, listen, get those tickets. Hope to see you this Saturday, 9 a.m. at the Wildest Dreams Conference. Guys, have a great, wonderful evening. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you back here next Monday. Good night.
Step into the Ladiez Room.